Good morning, vapes. All my vape heads out there, man. Good morning, man. You know how we got to start it, man. All right, so this is Sunday, July 26th, man, getting this video to you guys. I'm sorry I'm behind on this video. Normally, I like to try to get this to y'all on Saturday, every Saturday. But yesterday was a busy day. I sent you guys a little short video showing what I was working on my truck. So today I have the time, so I'm going to get this video to you guys. So in today's video, what I'm going to be talking mostly about is speed versus revenue, man, versus time management. All of these stuff is very idle, very key to being successful and running your truck as well. And I'll show you guys or explain to you guys some of the stuff that I've learned or have experienced or seen from being over the road as far as these three elements go in order for you to be successful. And if some of them actually even play a major role in you making money. We'll get into that though. But real quickly, I just want to let you guys know about my new Facebook page that I got out. It's called On Point Trucking Concepts. If you guys aren't part of it already, come on over, send a friend request. We'll get you in there. That's On Point, one word. Trucking is Truckin. No G, not trucking, but trucking. So it's On Point Trucking Concepts. Pretty much in there, we have guys in there that are giving information. It's a no nonsense, no bull type of page, man. We're not gonna do a whole bunch of no racial jokes in there. It's not gonna be no negativity. If it is any negativity, any racial stuff, anything that makes anybody feel uncomfortable, you will be booted and blocked from the page forever. Because we're just not gonna play that, man. This is supposed to be an informational site, place for people to come to get information, place for people to come have fun, for drivers to link up with each other. Because out here on the road, we're all a brotherhood. We all are, in this together. So one side taking another side, we're not gonna do that in this page. So if you feel like that's what you are going to do, just don't even come, because we don't need it. We need people that are able to come in and help each other out and want to be a brotherhood in this trucking industry. And like I said, the page is for those, if you're not in trucking, it's good information there. If you're interested in getting into trucking, it'll give you some feel of what we go through on a daily basis. We have guys in there who are tanker divisions, they are flatbed divisions, they are dry van division, and they are the reefer division. So we have a little bit of mix of everything for everybody. It's good if you are in the trucking industry and just may need some help with a certain load, just some general information, you can come there as well. We got some guys out there that have some experience that will get you answers for your questions. But like I said, once again, if you're not into trucking and maybe you're just thinking about getting into trucking, it's a good place to come find out what the trucker life is all about. Also, we post a lot of pictures on there where we have, a lot of the guys on there who have nice rigs. They post their pictures, just show their swag in their truck and their pride in their ride. It's pretty good. So, we have everybody who, toots their own little horns and a little competition. But, the big competition for those of y'all that are prime drivers will be September 5th at the Pride and Polish in Springfield, Missouri. So I'll be there, me and my wife. Truck will be on display. If y'all didn't know, my truck name is The Beast. You know what I'm saying? If y'all didn't know, The Beast will be on display, LSU Beast. So, if you think that you can, you got what it takes to win, man. Show your face, show up. It's actually a company picnic, but it's a weekend full of fun, man. Pretty much. I think it's Friday, Saturday. I think Friday they do a couple of things, but the main event is on Saturday where they give out awards. The Chrome show is on Saturday, and also the driver course is on Saturday. So it's a great thing, man. If you're part of Prime and you don't know nothing about this company picnic, now you know. It's September 5th. This year, it's normally held every Labor Day weekend of every year. So, man, show up, show out. It's fun. Rob Lowe does a great job with it. He has stuff for the kids, rides for the kids. All you can eat crab legs. It's a great thing. It really does show that Prime cares about family and drivers, man. It's a great thing. So if you can show up and you're a Prime driver, show up, man. It's well worth it. But today in this video, like I said, what I'm gonna talk about is speed, revenue, and time management. Is there a difference between these? At some points there are. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get into the first topic is speed. We got a lot of people out here who think that being in the hammer lane, 75, 80 miles per hour, being with the cattle haulers, the FedEx guys is the way to be. And then you got those who, want to be the snails of the road, which most of the time those are the company drivers of Prime. They do a lot of the 57s, the 55s, the 58s. That are snail drivers. Reason why they pretty much are doing the snail pace that they're doing at 55, 57, 58, it's not because they want to do that speed. You know what I mean? Nobody typically wants to just do 55 miles an hour. For the most part, what I've come to find out is that those drivers are company drivers. So when you're a company driver and you're not paying for your fuel and the company's paying for the fuel, then you have to pretty much do what they tell you to do as far as the speed goes. And I do know that if you're not setting a certain MPG, mile per gallon, over the week time or a week period, then they can, call you in and do evaluations. And if you keep on running too fast or something of that sort, and you're not meeting your mark of your miles per gallon for your fleet, then they actually will, terminate you. So a lot of the guys that you do see doing the 55s and 57s, 58s, to their defense, those are the company drivers. You might have some of these guys who may do that because they believe in this whole yada yada, go slower, get better MPGs. Let me tell you something, man. These trucks were designed to do the speed that they're supposed to do. Okay, they're not designed to do 55 miles an hour. If that was the case, that's what they would design the trucks to do. This is a whole bunch of blah, 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 guys behind computers that never driven a truck a day in their life saying that, oh, if you drive it at this speed and shift at this RPM and do this and that and the third and this, that, and the fourth, then the truck could get great mile per gallon. Let me tell you something. If Prime or any company entity that decides to bottle up the trucks, close them up, set them at a certain speed, take all of the horsepower down, yada, yada, and everything that they do to bottle up these trucks, then, miles per gallon really doesn't matter because you're driving a virgin truck. You're driving a truck that is not designed to be bottled up like that, man. They don't make these trucks to do that 55 miles per hour. Like I said, if that was the case, then they would make all trucks to do that, and every trucker would be getting great fuel mileage because everybody would be doing 55. But they're not designed that way. Certain trucks, I know that if you drive that slow with them, such as from what I've heard from being in the shop or being by a shop, the Peterbilts. If you try to drive those Peterbilts to do how Prime wants you to do, 55, 54, you end up in the shop a lot more because they're not intended to run at that rate. They're intended to be opened up. So, a lot of guys who have Peterbilts, they don't like to run at that 55 unless they're company. Then you're pretty much standard to run at that one because that's what you're told to do because it's not your fuel and you have to run at this. The company's paying for the fuel. You're not paying for it. But for the most part, I'm understanding that with the Peterbilts, man, you want to try to open those up as much as they will. And if you're at least, then, Prime allow you to open them up to 65 miles per hour. So to me, you pretty much want to run that, or if not, you're going to be in a shop somewhere because you're not running that truck to its potential. It's almost cliche to say like, okay, so your full potential that you're 100%, you wake up in the morning, you're 100%, you can go all day, but instead you decide to only do half of the day and then you go to sleep the other half. Now you only use 50%. Pretty much that's what you're doing with the trucks, with these trucks, what Prime is doing with them as far as, or any company that is toning them down. They're pretty much only using 50% of it. Then they're wondering why everything's in the shop. And also that's not good on warranty because then you start getting into that and then you start getting into the Peterbilts and people like KWs who they don't want to deal with these entities because you're now opening trucks up. These trucks are always in the shop for an issue, blah, 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 because you guys are bottling them up. So end of the day, to me, speed, doing 58, 55, me as a lease driver, man, I'm never doing that, okay? I'm 65 all day. I have a Peterbilt. I feel like my truck is made to do a certain speed. At the same time, I feel like if this truck wasn't able to do this speed, then Prime wouldn't set it at 65. You know, everything would be set across the board at 55. So apparently somewhere, some of these computer geeks that's sitting at a table that's saying, oh, do this, do that, do that, do that, do this, that, and third, it makes the blah, blah, blah. To me, all that BS, man, out the window. Reason why I feel like they do 55, 57, 58, Prime is a very smart company. Rob Lowe is a very smart man. That is his fuel that he has to pay for. So what does he want to do? He wants you to use very, very fuel efficiency to get there, okay? It has nothing to do with speed, none of that. It's that the man is trying to stretch his dollar. Very smart man. Would I do that as leasing? I'm not going to stretch my dollar. Reason why I can run 65 miles per hour while the company guy does 55. He gets off 4 loads. I get off 5 loads. I pick up an extra load that he can't do because he's doing 55. I revenue an extra $1,000 for doing that. So while you're saving on that end a couple of hundreds, I went ahead and made the fuel that you saved on a couple hundreds. Plus I put a couple hundreds in my pocket. That's me. That's just me. You know what I mean? Everybody to each your own zone. But me, I do 65 hammer all day. And with a lot of people, it's not hammer because I get passed all day by other companies doing 67, 68, 70. I would love to do that. Prime would set my truck to 70. I do 70. But I'm going to set it to where they peak it at, 65. So that's what I got to do. And I'm not going to go no slower than that. So that's just me as far as speed goes. To me, speed ties into revenue because while you're doing the 55, yeah, you're saving yourself a couple of hundreds on the back end. If you're a company driver, you're saving Rob Lowe money, actually. If you're a lease driver, you're saving a couple hundreds on the back end. But by me doing 65, I pick up that extra load where I make up for that extra money that you're saving on the back end on your fuel. Plus, I make a little bit more in revenue, put a little bit more on my paycheck. So speed and revenue to me, not telling you to speed, man. Don't speed to kill. Don't speed or anything like that. I think 65 miles per hour is not a dangerous speed. I think that's pretty much a comfortable speed. You know, so I've been doing it for 3 years. So I'm accustomed to doing 65, man. I don't know if I do 70 or something like that. When, you know, if I'm heavy, I'm going down a mountain or a hill or something, you know, to get up there. And at times, you know, it's like, ooh, this would be kind of nice. But, you know, when it comes back down to reality, 65 is good for me. So I got no complaints. But for the most part, the reason why you guys do see a lot of these Prime trucks that are doing 55, 57, 58, 59 is because they are company trucks. And they are on a pretty much MPG scale per week that they have to meet. As lease drivers, we're not on that. You know, we pay for our own fuel. Do whatever you want to. That's fuel that's coming out of your pocket. If you want to go slower and you think that it saves you good and you get 4 runs in for the week, well, I get 5 runs in for the week and you revenue 5,300 and I revenue 6,300, and you tell me where's the difference at. So I made an extra $1,000 that week in revenue while you did 55 miles per hour and you saved yourself $200 or $300 in fuel. I made another extra $1,000. So I made what you saved in $300 in fuel, and plus I made another $700. You do the math. Okay, take away my fuel expenses that I'm gonna have for that. Okay, no problem. $250. So I still made $500 extra revenue and $500 extra towards my paycheck. So I'm still good with that. I'm still satisfied with that, and I still make money. So the proof is in the pudding. 65 is not that bad. I'm never gonna do 58. That's just me. I'm not a company driver. And I'm about, like I told you guys in the last video about the leasing. Leasing is all about revenue. We don't make cents per mile. You know what I mean? Where we can just sit there and say, oh yeah, every mile I'm making this. You know, as a lease driver, we're making revenue. We work off of revenue, man. If it doesn't make the right amount of revenue, it doesn't make sense, man. End of the day. All right, so on to that, I'm gonna talk about time management, man. As far as time management goes, the best way to run your truck, from what I see, from my standpoint, like I said, each your own zone. but this is an informational video for those who may be looking for information on how to run differently or run the way that I run. Like I said, I'm very profitable. Time management for me, I like to say, so and you have a 11-hour clock of drive, you have a 14 in your workday. With me, I like to, if I'm driving all day, I'm pretty standard. For me, I like to try to push it my first 8 hours before I take my break, my 30-minute break, which is a standard. You have 8 hours that you have to drive before you have to take your first break, period. It has to happen before you take your 30-minute break. It has to happen. So I try to push myself to the limit, like that way, let me get furthest out, furthest I can go for 8 hours before I take my break. I feel like you start doing a whole lot of stopping in between breaks. Stopping in between your 8 hours, man, you start cutting your mileage back, and then you start finding that you start getting to your 90s, your 01s later on in the day, and that's not what you want to do. You want to get into your 90s and places like that early. So I feel like if you start taking multiple breaks and stuff like that before your first 8 hours, man, you're really cutting yourself short. So me, I like to keep my door closed for the first 8 hours, man. That's just me. If you have to, man, because the route is getting too boring for you, the ride is getting too boring, there's nothing to look at, oh my God, it's just boring as hell around here. And I've been in those situations. You get out there on 20 out in the desert, you get out there on 40 out there in the desert, it gets really boring, man. Really boring, especially if you're in Wyoming, you riding on that I-80. It's really boring. I-80 now in Wyoming, terrible. So time management is very, very important. The better you manage your time, the better you will, be able to predict when you stop your truck at night, pretty much the flow of your day. And you always want to kind of make room for traffic accidents, traffic things of that nature that may slow you down or weather that could slow you down. So I always try to give myself an extra 2 hours. So if I'm looking at it and I see that, okay, I'm driving this fast and it takes me this long to go this amount of miles, I always normally tack on myself an extra 2 hours just to give myself that extra cushion just in case traffic or weather pops into play. So time management is very important. Very important. Like I was telling you, how I manage my time is I try to run my 8 hours and then take me my 30 minutes afterwards. If not, I try to, I know at times, like I was saying, being on the I-way, it can be very, very boring on I-80 going through the Wyoming. So another way that you can do it is I try to do at least 4 hours of that. I'll stop for about a quick little 10, 15 minute stretch break, get outside the truck, check the load out, run around the load, do something, do some jumping jacks, whatever have you, to get the blood flowing, because that's actually what gets you tired, is from you sitting there and your blood just not circulating through your whole body, and that just makes you become lazy. So it is good to get outside the truck, get your exercise, get a couple of exercises on, check your loads, check your strap, run up and down, run around the truck a couple of times. Don't look crazy, because then people are going to look at you like you might need help. Do some jumping jacks, do a couple push-ups or something along that nature. But yeah, that would be the only other thing. I wouldn't advise you stopping every 2 hours, every hour, anything like that. Anytime you start stopping every hour, every 2 hours, man, you're doing nothing but slowing yourself down. You're making it harder for you to run, because the more that you're stopping, the longer it seems that the trip is taking for you to get there. And then all it's doing is putting you behind time. And then you find yourself in the last couple of hours or last few hours, you're trying to race to catch back up with your time. And it just becomes harder and harder, because like I said, you could run into traffic or weather, and that's just gonna slow you down even more. So my thing to you guys, what I do, I try to run my first 8 straight through, take my 30 minutes after my first 8, and then I don't do no more than about 30 minutes, man. I try to do my 30 minutes and try to jet extremely after my 30 minutes. I try to be going. So I don't sit around and just kill that. I try to do whatever I need to do in my 30 minutes and leave and finish my clock off. It's kind of important that you get your 11 hours in. You know what I mean? Don't short yourself and say, oh, I'm only going to drive 8 today. Now, you can drive 8 or do whatever you need to do if it's short distance for you to get to your 90 or your 01 and it's shorter distance, and fine. But if you know that you have some distance to go, get your whole 11 in, man. Don't short yourself. Get your whole 11 in. It's best that you just get the whole 11 in. And like I said, don't take your break until 8 hours in, or if you need to, do it every 4 hours. You stop, get yourself a quick little 10-15 minute breather, shake it off, get that monkey off your back, that sleep monkey, so that you can continue driving and being aware and alert that's on the road. So yeah, so that's pretty much all I have for you guys for this video session here, taking up enough of you guys' time. Any questions, comments, concerns, leave a comment down at the bottom. Let me know. Every weekend I'm gonna try to do this, like I said, between the Saturday and Sunday, try to bring you guys some new information that's valuable that you can use within your journey as being a truck driver. But yeah, if you have any questions, man, you can either email me, LoShawnParks@gmail.com, with any questions or anything that you want me to speak on, or you can come on our Facebook page, and that's On Point, one word, On Point Trucking, TRUCKIN Concepts Facebook page. Search us, join us, and you guys can put in comments down there as well on that page on something you guys would like for me to speak on or elaborate on or educate on. So until next weekend, man, signing out. LoShawn Parks, On Point Trucking Concepts Facebook page. Peace. Y'all be safe out there on the road, drivers.